90% of wrongfully convicted people die behind bars. This guy, he became a lawyer and took down the entire corrupt system that put him there. So let me ask you something. What would you do if the system completely betrayed you? Like threw you in prison for life for something you never did? Most people would break. Isaac Wright Jr. He broke the system instead. It's 1989. The war on drugs is in full swing. And in Somerset County, New Jersey, there's this prosecutor named Nicholas Bissell who's hungry for a big win. Meanwhile, Isaac Wright Jr. is just living his life. Married to this woman named Sunshine, yeah, that's actually her name, and managing a hip-hop group called the Uptown Band. In the late 80s, everyone was terrified of the crack epidemic. It was the perfect time to score political points by locking people up, especially if those people looked like Isaac. One night, police cars surround Isaac, lights flashing, guns drawn. They arrest him as the supposed kingpin of a massive cocaine distribution network. Thing is, he wasn't involved at all. Isaac later told in an interview, "They didn't just want to lock me up. They wanted to bury me." The trial was a complete joke. The prosecution's case? Built on testimonies from people who were literally threatened with decades in prison if they didn't say Isaac was guilty. No physical evidence connecting him to drug trafficking? No problem. No prior criminal record? Who cares? Constitutional rights? What are those? The jury finds him guilty. The judge sentences him to life in prison, plus 70 years. Let that sink in. Life, plus 70 years. Isaac Wright Jr., husband, father, music manager, was now inmate. Most people would lose their minds, give up. But Isaac did something else. Every night, while other inmates slept, he'd stay up studying law books under those dim prison lights, not just reading them, mastering them. One guard laughed at him, said, "Right, you know you're never getting out, right?" Isaac just kept reading. "I can't even focus long enough to read my phone bill." And this man taught himself enough law to outsmart veteran prosecutors from a prison cell. Soon other inmates started coming to him for help. "Yo, Wright, can you look at my case?" And guess what? He started winning for them, getting sentences reduced, cases reopened. The guards started calling him the miracle worker. But Isaac knew better. There's nothing miraculous about justice. Meanwhile, remember that prosecutor, Nicholas Bissell? Turns out, he was the actual criminal. Prosecutor indicted on corruption charges, Bissell accused of embezzlement, abuse of power, FBI hunts, fugitive prosecutor. The FBI started investigating him for embezzlement, tax fraud, abuse of power, the works. And when they came for him, he ran to a hotel in Nevada and, well, let's just say he chose a permanent way out rather than face justice. Can you believe this? The guy who put Isaac away was more criminal than anyone he ever prosecuted. In 1996, after 7 years behind bars, Isaac finally got another hearing, but he didn't just show up. No, he showed up. Standing there in that courtroom, Isaac systematically dismantled the entire case against him. Not as some desperate inmate, but as someone who understood the law better than the people who put him away. He exposed the coerced testimony, the evidence tampering, the constitutional violations. The prosecution built a castle on sand. Today, the tide comes in. The judge had no choice. Conviction overturned. Isaac walked out a free man. But here's where most documentaries would end. Not this one, because Isaac Wright Jr.'s story was just beginning. What would you do after being wrongfully imprisoned for 7 years? Run away from the legal system? Hide from it? Isaac ran straight toward it. He went to college, then law school, then took the New Jersey bar exam. And in 2017, the same system that wrongfully locked him up for life had to call him counselor. I've seen a lot of people who've been wronged by the system. Most of them are, understandably, bitter, angry, broken. But Isaac? There's this calm determination about him. It's honestly kind of scary, in the best possible way. Now Isaac represents people who were in his position. people the system wants to forget. A reporter asked him if he's angry about what happened to him. He said, "I don't have time for anger. There's too much work to do." Isaac Wright Jr. didn't just beat the system that tried to bury him. He mastered it, infiltrated, and now uses it as a weapon for others. His story was even turned into a TV series called For Life. But no Hollywood drama can capture what this man really did. In a world where we often feel powerless against corrupt systems, Isaac Wright Jr. reminds us that sometimes one person really can change everything. If you found this story as mind-blowing as I did, smash that like button.